Ladies and gentlemen, every journey begins with a single step, and every step forward is an act of courage. It's easy to look at the distance ahead and feel overwhelmed, to think, how can I possibly get there? But here's the truth: progress doesn't demand perfection. It asks only that you show up and take one small step forward every single day. Courage starts with showing up, because it's in the act of showing up that we declare our willingness to engage with life, no matter how uncertain or daunting it may seem. It's tempting to believe that courage is something grand, a monumental act of bravery reserved for extraordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. But in truth, courage often looks quiet and unremarkable. It looks like choosing to get out of bed when the weight of the day feels unbearable. It looks like raising your hand in a room where you fear judgment. It looks like saying, I don't know when everyone expects you to have the answers. It looks like admitting that you care about something enough to risk failing at it. Showing up doesn't mean you're fearless, it means you're willing to stand in the face of fear. Fear and uncertainty are part of the human experience, and the myth that courage requires their absence can keep us stuck. True courage is the ability to feel fear, to acknowledge its presence and still choose to move forward. It's not about erasing the anxiety that comes with trying something new, stepping outside your comfort zone, or confronting a difficult situation. It's about acknowledging that those feelings exist while refusing to let them dictate your actions. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to act despite it. When you show up, you are choosing to be present even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. There's no promise that things will go smoothly or that your effort will result in immediate success. There's no assurance that you won't stumble, face criticism, or experience discomfort. But when you show up, you open the door to possibilities. You create the chance to learn, to grow, to connect, and to make a difference. Even when things don't go as planned, the very act of showing up teaches you something valuable about yourself and the world around you. You learn that you are capable of enduring discomfort, of navigating challenges, and of trying again. Showing up requires a willingness to be vulnerable. It asks you to step into spaces where you might not feel fully prepared or completely confident. Vulnerability can be scary. It means exposing yourself to potential failure, rejection, or judgment. But vulnerability is also where authenticity resides. When you show up as you are, without pretending to be perfect or invincible, you give yourself permission to be real. You acknowledge that you're human, and in doing so, you invite others to do the same. Courage isn't about having all the answers or being unshakable. It's about being honest about where you are and trusting that it's enough to take the next step. In moments of doubt, it's easy to convince yourself that showing up won't make a difference, that your contribution is too small to matter, or that you should wait until you feel more confident or capable. But waiting for the perfect conditions can keep you stuck indefinitely. There will never be a perfect time, and you will never feel fully ready. Showing up doesn't mean you have everything figured out. It means you're willing to start where you are with what you have. It means taking imperfect action, knowing that progress is often messy and nonlinear. Courage is also about showing up for yourself, especially in the moments when it feels hardest. It's about recognizing your own worth, even when self-doubt creeps in. It's about honoring your commitments to yourself, whether that's pursuing a dream, setting a boundary, or taking care of your well-being. When you show up for yourself, you send a powerful message that you are deserving of the effort, the time, and the energy it takes to move forward. Showing up for yourself is not selfish. It's an essential act of self-respect that enables you to show up more fully for others. The world we live in often celebrates visible achievements and rewards tangible outcomes, but the internal victories that come from simply showing up often go unnoticed. These victories matter deeply because they are the foundation of growth and resilience. Each time you choose to show up, you strengthen your ability to face challenges, to take risks, and to keep going even when things are difficult. Over time, these small acts of courage accumulate, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the moment itself. There is also something deeply empowering about realizing that you don't have to have it all together to show up. You don't have to feel confident or competent or completely prepared. You don't have to wait until the fear goes away or the circumstances are ideal. You can show up exactly as you are, uncertain, imperfect, and maybe even a little scared. What matters is the decision to be present, to engage, and to take that first step, no matter how small it may seem. Showing up is a practice, not a one-time event. It's a choice you make every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Some days it will feel easier, and other days it will feel like an uphill battle. But with each decision to show up, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of facing whatever comes your way. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than your fears and doubts, and that your willingness to try is more powerful than the voices telling you to hold back. Courage starts with showing up because it's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Whether you're pursuing a goal, building a relationship, or navigating a difficult season of life, showing up is the first step that makes all other steps possible. Vulnerability fuels growth because it creates the conditions necessary for learning, connection, and transformation. At its core, vulnerability is the willingness to expose yourself to uncertainty, risk, and emotional openness. It's an act of courage to let down your guard, to admit you don't have all the answers, and to share your authentic self with the world. This openness isn't weakness, it's the birthplace of creativity, resilience, and personal development. Without vulnerability, growth stagnates, as it is only through embracing discomfort that we stretch beyond our current limits and discover what we're truly capable of. Growth, by its very nature, involves stepping into the unknown. Whether it's pursuing a new opportunity, tackling a personal challenge, or navigating a difficult conversation, the process of moving forward requires you to risk failure or rejection. Vulnerability is the bridge that allows you to cross into that uncertainty. It gives you permission to try, knowing that the outcome isn't guaranteed. This willingness to risk is where growth begins. If you avoid vulnerability, you also avoid the opportunities that come with it, the opportunity to learn something new, to deepen your relationships, or to develop the skills and resilience necessary for the next stage of your journey. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you also give yourself permission to make mistakes. Growth is rarely linear, and it often involves setbacks and failures. These moments are not signs of weakness or inadequacy, they are stepping stones to greater understanding and capability. Mistakes teach you about what doesn't work, but more importantly, they show you what you're capable of enduring. They remind you that failure is not the end, it's a part of the process. By embracing vulnerability, you create space for these lessons to take root, allowing them to shape you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Vulnerability also fosters authentic connection, which is essential for personal and collective growth. When you allow yourself to be seen as you truly are, flaws, fears, and all, you invite others to do the same. This mutual openness creates trust, understanding, and empathy, forming the foundation of meaningful relationships. Growth often happens in the context of these relationships as others provide support, feedback, and new perspectives that challenge and expand your worldview. Without vulnerability, these connections remain superficial and the potential for mutual growth is diminished. It's in the willingness to share your struggles and aspirations that you build the kind of relationships that nurture and sustain you. Creativity and innovation are also fueled by vulnerability. To create something new, you must be willing to take risks, to put forth ideas that might be criticized or rejected. Vulnerability is what allows you to share an unfinished thought, to ask for input, or to attempt something you've never done before. It's the courage to say, this might not work, but I'm going to try anyway. Growth in any creative endeavor requires this openness. Without it, you stay confined to what feels safe and familiar, missing the chance to explore uncharted territory and discover your unique voice or vision. Resilience, one of the most important qualities for growth, is also cultivated through vulnerability. Resilience is not the absence of struggle, it's the ability to bounce back and keep going despite challenges. To build resilience, you have to face difficulty head-on, which requires vulnerability. It's about admitting when you need help, acknowledging when you're struggling, and allowing yourself to process emotions rather than suppressing them. This openness to feeling and dealing with discomfort strengthens your capacity to handle future adversity. Each time you allow yourself to be vulnerable and survive the experience, you build confidence in your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. Vulnerability also enhances self-awareness, a key component of growth. When you're willing to examine your fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself. This self-awareness allows you to identify patterns that may be holding you back and to make conscious choices about how to move forward. Vulnerability invites you to ask tough questions. What am I afraid of? What story am I telling myself about this situation? What would I do if I weren't afraid of failing? By exploring these questions, you uncover insights that can guide your growth and help you align more closely with your values and goals. Leadership is another area where vulnerability is essential for growth. A leader who admits their mistakes, seeks input from others, and acknowledges the challenges they face creates an environment where growth thrives. Vulnerability in leadership shows that it's okay to be human, to not have all the answers, and to rely on the collective strength of the team. This openness fosters trust and encourages others to take risks and share ideas, creating a culture of growth and innovation. Without vulnerability, leadership can become rigid, stifling the potential of both the leader and those they lead. Vulnerability is also a powerful antidote to shame, which can be a significant barrier to growth. Shame thrives in secrecy and isolation, convincing you that your flaws and failures make you unworthy. When you choose vulnerability, you break the silence that shame depends on. By sharing your experiences with someone you trust, you diminish shame's power and open the door to healing. This act of self-compassion allows you to move forward, no longer weighed down by the fear of being not enough. Vulnerability replaces shame with self-acceptance, creating a solid foundation for growth. At its heart, vulnerability is about embracing imperfection and allowing yourself to be seen as you truly are. Growth is not about striving for perfection, it's about becoming more fully yourself. When you let go of the need to appear flawless or in control, you free yourself to explore, experiment, and evolve. Vulnerability is what makes this exploration possible. It's what allows you to step into the unknown, to try and fail, and to keep going despite setbacks. By embracing vulnerability, you open yourself up to the endless possibilities that come with growth. Small, consistent efforts lead to big change because transformation is rarely the result of a single, dramatic act. Instead, it is the accumulation of small, intentional actions taken day after day. While grand gestures or monumental breakthroughs may seem like the catalyst for change, they are often the product of sustained effort over time. The beauty of small, consistent efforts lies in their accessibility and reliability. And anyone can take a small step, and when those steps are repeated with intention, they create a powerful momentum that propels growth and progress. These efforts may seem insignificant in isolation, but over time, they compound, creating a ripple effect that leads to profound and lasting change. Consistency is the key to making these small efforts meaningful. Without consistency, even the best intentions can fizzle out, leaving little to show for the initial burst of energy or enthusiasm. Consistency turns sporadic attempts into habits, and habits are the building blocks of lasting change. When small actions become part of your daily routine, they no longer rely on willpower or motivation to sustain them. They become automatic, seamlessly integrated into your life. This is why small, consistent efforts are so powerful. They require less energy to maintain over time, yet they yield increasingly significant results. One of the reasons small efforts are so effective is that they feel manageable. Big goals or major changes can often feel overwhelming, creating a sense of paralysis or fear of failure. By breaking those goals into smaller, more achievable steps, you make the process less intimidating. Each small effort becomes a micro success, boosting your confidence and reinforcing your commitment to the larger goal. These incremental victories are what keep you moving forward, even when the ultimate outcome feels distant. Small efforts also have the advantage of being adaptable. Life is unpredictable and circumstances can change quickly. Grand plans or sweeping changes often collapse under the weight of unforeseen challenges, but small, consistent actions can be adjusted and sustained even in the face of adversity. For example, if you're working toward a fitness goal, committing to just 5 minutes of exercise a day is a small effort that can be maintained regardless of a busy schedule or unexpected obstacles. This adaptability ensures that progress continues no matter what life throws your way. Another reason small, consistent efforts are so impactful is their compounding effect. Each effort builds upon the last, creating a cumulative impact that is far greater than the sum of its parts. This principle is evident in many areas of life, from personal development to financial growth. Consider the power of compound interest. A small, regular investment grows exponentially over time, creating wealth far beyond what was initially deposited. The same principle applies to personal habits and goals. Whether it's practicing a skill, saving money, or improving your health, the small actions you take consistently over time compound to produce significant results. The process of committing to small efforts also teaches patience and perseverance. In a world that often values instant gratification, it can be difficult to stay committed to goals that require sustained effort. Small, consistent actions help you focus on the process rather than the outcome. They remind you that progress is often slow and that meaningful change takes time. This shift in mindset can be incredibly empowering as it encourages you to celebrate the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. Small efforts also create a sense of accountability. When you commit to doing something every day or every week, no matter how small, you build a track record of keeping your promises to yourself. This consistency strengthens your self-discipline and reinforces your belief in your ability to follow through. Over time, this sense of accountability becomes a powerful motivator, pushing you to maintain your efforts, even when it's difficult. Another important aspect of small, consistent efforts is their ability to create a positive feedback loop. Each small action you take creates a sense of accomplishment, which boosts your motivation to continue. This motivation leads to further action, which in turn creates more progress and satisfaction. This cycle of effort and reward becomes self-sustaining, making it easier to stay on track and maintain momentum. Even on days when motivation is low, the habit of consistent effort can carry you through, ensuring that progress doesn't come to a halt. Small efforts also allow for experimentation and learning. Because they require minimal risk or investment, they provide an opportunity to test new approaches and see what works best for you. If one method doesn't yield the desired results, you can adjust without feeling like you've wasted significant time or resources. This flexibility makes it easier to stay committed to your goals as you're not tied to a single strategy or plan. Instead, you're free to explore and adapt, continuously refining your approach based on what you learn. Over time, these small efforts become a part of your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who takes action, who stays committed, and who values growth and progress. This shift in self-perception can have a profound impact on your ability to achieve your goals. When you believe in your ability to make progress, no matter how small, you're more likely to persevere through challenges and setbacks. This sense of identity strengthens your resolve, making it easier to maintain the habits and actions that drive meaningful change. Small, consistent efforts also have a way of inspiring others. When people see you making steady progress, even in the face of challenges, they are often motivated to take action in their own lives. And your commitment to small, consistent actions sets an example of what's possible, demonstrating that change doesn't have to be dramatic or overwhelming. This ripple effect extends the impact of your efforts beyond yourself, creating a positive influence on those around you. In many ways, the power of small, consistent efforts lies in their simplicity. They don't require extraordinary talent, resources, or circumstances. They are accessible to anyone at any time in any situation. By focusing on what you can do today, however small, you take control of your growth and progress. These efforts are a reminder that big change doesn't happen overnight. It happens one small step at a time. Resilience is built in the struggle because it is through facing challenges, hardships, and adversity that we develop the strength, adaptability, and perseverance to navigate life's uncertainties. Resilience is not something we are born with in its entirety. It is cultivated over time through experiences that test our limits and push us to confront discomfort. Struggle, while often painful and difficult in the moment, serves as the training ground for resilience. It forces us to confront our fears, adapt to new realities, and find ways to move forward even when the path seems unclear. Each challenge we face becomes an opportunity to grow stronger and more capable, shaping our ability to withstand future difficulties with greater confidence and grace. Adversity exposes the gaps in our understanding and the limits of our current abilities, and it is in these moments of discomfort that growth begins. When everything in life feels stable and predictable, there is little incentive to stretch beyond what is comfortable or familiar. Struggle disrupts that stability, compelling us to explore new solutions, learn new skills, and adopt new perspectives. This process of adaptation is at the heart of resilience. It teaches us that we are capable of evolving even in the face of uncertainty, and that we possess a greater capacity for problem solving and endurance than we may have initially believed. The act of enduring struggle also helps to reframe our relationship with failure. In moments of hardship, failure often feels inevitable, but it is in these moments that we learn its true value. Failure is not the end of the road, it is a stepping stone on the path to growth. Each failure provides valuable lessons about what doesn't work and reveals areas where improvement is needed. Over time, as we experience failure and continue to persist, we build resilience by learning to view setbacks not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to refine our approach and try again. This shift in perspective reduces the fear of failure and allows us to approach challenges with greater confidence and determination. Struggle also teaches us about our inner strength and capacity to endure. When we face adversity, we often discover reserves of resilience we didn't know we had. These moments reveal the depth of our ability to persevere, even when the odds seem stacked against us. Each time we navigate a difficult situation, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of enduring hardship and emerging on the other side. This realization creates a sense of self-efficacy, reinforcing the belief that we can handle future challenges and empowering us to face them head-on. Resilience is also built through the emotional growth that comes from struggle. Hardship forces us to confront and process difficult emotions such as fear, sadness, and frustration. By allowing ourselves to feel and work through these emotions, we develop emotional intelligence and self-awareness. We learn to regulate our responses, to find healthy ways of coping, and to build a greater understanding of our own emotional landscape. This emotional resilience becomes a vital tool for navigating future struggles, as it enables us to remain grounded and composed even in the face of intense stress or uncertainty. Another way struggle builds resilience is by strengthening our relationships and social support networks. During times of difficulty, we often lean on others for support, guidance, and encouragement. These moments of connection remind us that we are not alone and that we have people who care about us and are willing to help. At the same time, our own struggles often inspire empathy and understanding for others who are going through similar challenges. This mutual support creates a sense of community and shared strength, which further reinforces our resilience. Knowing that we can rely on others and that they can rely on us creates a foundation of trust and solidarity that helps us weather future storms. Struggle also cultivates resilience by teaching us the value of persistence and patience. In a world that often emphasizes quick fixes and instant results, struggle reminds us that meaningful progress takes time. The process of working through difficulties requires sustained effort and a willingness to keep going even when progress feels slow or imperceptible. Each small step forward, no matter how incremental, contributes to our overall growth and development. Over time, this practice of persistence becomes second nature, enabling us to tackle even the most daunting challenges with steady determination. One of the most profound ways struggle builds resilience is by fostering a sense of gratitude and perspective. Hardship has a way of clarifying what truly matters in life. It strips away superficial concerns and redirects our focus toward the people, values, and experiences that bring us genuine joy and fulfillment. This shift in perspective not only helps us navigate the current struggle, but also prepares us to face future challenges with a greater sense of clarity and purpose. Resilience is strengthened by this renewed appreciation for life's blessings, as it provides a source of hope and motivation during difficult times. Struggle also serves as a powerful reminder of our interconnectedness and shared humanity. Everyone experiences hardship at some point, and our struggles often mirror those of others in ways that create opportunities for empathy and connection. By recognizing the universality of struggle, we come to see it not as a personal failing, but as a natural part of the human experience. This understanding fosters compassion for ourselves and others, making it easier to offer and receive support when it is needed most. Resilience is built through these acts of compassion, as they create a sense of belonging and reinforce the belief that we are capable of overcoming challenges together. Ultimately, the struggle is not something to be feared or avoided, but embraced as an integral part of the growth process. It is in the moments of hardship that we discover our true strength, develop our capacity for perseverance, and learn the skills necessary to navigate an unpredictable world. The lessons we gain from struggle become the foundation for future resilience, enabling us to face whatever comes our way with courage, adaptability, and hope. Celebrate the courage of every step, because each one represents a moment of bravery, determination, and progress. In life, every meaningful journey begins with a single step, and often that first move is the hardest. It takes courage to venture into the unknown, to leave behind the familiar, and to confront the fears that whisper stay where you are every step forward. no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is a triumph over hesitation and doubt. These steps deserve recognition, for they symbolize not just motion, but the courage it takes to believe in the possibility of something better. Courage comes in many forms, and every step reflects a unique kind of bravery. For some, courage might mean pursuing a dream despite uncertainty. For others, it might mean facing a difficult conversation, admitting a mistake, or asking for help. Each of these steps requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is an act of strength. To take a step, especially in the face of fear, rejection, or failure, is to affirm your willingness to grow and move forward. This courage, though often quiet and unassuming, is what drives progress and transformation. There is profound value in celebrating these steps because they often go unnoticed. In a world that prizes big achievements and grand milestones, the small, courageous steps that lead to those outcomes can be overlooked. Yet it is these everyday acts of bravery that set the foundation for long-term success. The courage to start, to try, to persist, these are the building blocks of every meaningful accomplishment. By celebrating each step, you honor the effort and resilience it takes to keep moving forward, even when the journey feels long or the goal far away. Celebrating every step also helps to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and positivity. It shifts the focus from what remains undone to what has already been achieved. This shift is powerful because it reinforces the belief that progress is possible and that effort matters. When you pause to recognize the courage it took to take a step, you create a moment of encouragement and self-compassion. This acknowledgement fuels your motivation to continue, reminding you that each small act contributes to something greater. Courage is often tested in the face of setbacks and obstacles, and it is in these moments that celebrating each step becomes even more important. When challenges arise, it can be tempting to focus on what went wrong or to question your ability to succeed. Yet, even amidst difficulty, there is always something worth celebrating: the fact that you tried, that you persevered, or that you learned something new. These moments of recognition provide a sense of hope and perspective, helping you to see that progress is not linear but still meaningful. The courage to take a step also represents a commitment to growth and change. Change can be daunting because it often requires leaving behind what is comfortable or predictable. It means opening yourself up to new experiences, ideas, and possibilities. Each step forward signifies a willingness to embrace this uncertainty and to trust in your ability to navigate it. This trust is an act of courage, and it deserves to be celebrated as a reminder of your strength and capacity for growth. Celebrating each step also helps to build resilience. Life's journeys are rarely smooth or straightforward, and the path to any goal is often marked by detours, delays, and difficulties. By celebrating the courage it takes to keep going, you reinforce your ability to adapt and persist. Each celebration becomes a reminder that you have overcome challenges before and that you can do so again. This sense of resilience is what enables you to face the next step with confidence, knowing that progress is possible even in the face of adversity. Every step forward also reflects a commitment to yourself and your values. It is an affirmation that you believe in your goals and that you are willing to take action to achieve them. This self-commitment is an act of courage because it requires you to prioritize your aspirations, even when it feels easier to settle for less. By celebrating these steps, you honor the courage it takes to pursue a life that aligns with your values and vision, and you reaffirm your belief in your own potential. Celebrating each step also inspires others. When people see you recognizing and valuing your progress, they are encouraged to do the same in their own lives. Your courage becomes a source of motivation for others, demonstrating that every journey is made up of small, courageous steps. This ripple effect creates a culture of encouragement and support, where progress is celebrated not just in the grand moments, but in the everyday actions that lead to them. The courage of every step deserves to be celebrated because it represents progress against the odds. Each step forward is an act of defiance against fear, doubt, and complacency. It is a declaration that you are willing to try, to risk, and to grow. These steps may not always feel momentous, but over time, they create a momentum that carries you closer to your goals. By celebrating them, you honor the bravery it takes to keep going, and you remind yourself that every step matters, no matter how small. Celebrating every step also deepens your connection to the present moment. In the rush to achieve future goals, it can be easy to overlook the importance of where you are right now. Each step forward is a part of the journey, and by celebrating it, you allow yourself to fully experience and appreciate the process. This presence fosters a sense of fulfillment and joy, helping you to find meaning in the act of striving itself rather than placing all your focus on the end result. In the journey of life, every step, whether bold or tentative, triumphant or uncertain, matters. Each one represents progress, courage, and the unwavering belief in our ability to grow, adapt, and persevere. When we celebrate these steps, we acknowledge not just the milestones, but the effort, the resilience, and the strength it takes to keep moving forward. Life's challenges may test us, but it is in the moments of struggle, in the daily acts of courage, and in the quiet persistence of consistent effort that we build the foundation for lasting change. By honoring every step, we empower ourselves and others to embrace the journey, knowing that each move forward brings us closer to becoming the best version of ourselves. Thank you.